Hello, Leo, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and we're doing July readings today. I've got the Unfolding Path Tarot here, and we've also got the Lenormand deck, so I'm going to pull one card as a sort of oracle framing card from the Lenormand. Wow, okay. So, as always, these are general readings for a general Leo audience. So take what resonates for you and leave the rest for another Leo or another day. I invite you to look at the videos for your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, for a more resonant picture. Sometimes one or the other more fully resonates with you. Sometimes, there's a combo that works for you. Of course, check out whatever you're drawn to. Let's see here. Let's get your Lenormand pull. Okay, nice. Wow. Wow. Okay. So the tree can be a card of growth and long-lasting growth. Now, for this can apply to different contexts. So we'll see where the tarot takes us. But this could be in terms of health for some of you. This could be in terms of growth, in terms of connections, that sense of planting roots and, growing your connections, either family connections, romantic connections. There's the sense of, being fruitful. So for those of you for whom it makes sense, if you're looking to increase your family or increase your connections in that way, this could be a good sign. This is a longer lasting or a growing sort of card. So it's one of those it's not an instantaneous, it's a growth card. So it's has that sense of the seeds you plant now, you nurture them, and they carry you forward. So whether it's with family or with a business, it's a sort of foundational period where you can nurture and harvest and keep the harvest growing. Or if you put effort into, say, your health, you start to see rewards and you can keep progress going there. So a good time to start a new healthcare regime and start seeing progress there, if you will. So depending on the context, you can see progress or fruitful rewards, or I think you see what I'm saying there. But let's go through the tarot and see how it connects. So the first card we have is the one major arcana you have in your spread. So this is kind of a heavy-duty cover card, right? Judgment. Now, that is all about that phase or that gift you give yourself when you accept the truth of who you are and that freedom to move forward. So sometimes the judgment card is accepting imperfection, the truth of your vulnerability, escaping a box that you might have put yourself in, or a concept you may have had of yourself, or you may have feared others had of yourself. It's the freedom of letting go of expectation. So what do I mean by that? Sometimes you can get stuck in limiting beliefs, right? Like one example could be a fear of not being able to have a bigger role in your career, in your workplace. And so holding on to a job that kind of is not great, that you don't like, that maybe you have colleagues or coworkers that don't treat you well or talk down to you or something like that. And maybe having a fear of putting out resume for a better job or asking your current boss for a better position, out of fear of some sort of insecurity, or I'm not smart enough, or they wouldn't see me in that role, or that can be a box that you put yourself in. And judgment is that phase where you go, pardon my French, screw it. I have the talent. I have the ability. I deserve something bigger. I deserve something better. I'm going for it. I want more. It's stepping out of a small sort of life into something grander. And sometimes it can mean letting go of a friend group or a job that was holding you back. Sometimes it can be letting go of, and take this as it resonates. It's not going to resonate for all Leos, but letting go of maybe a sexuality that was limiting, or gender identity that was limiting, something along those lines. The Judgment card invites you to step into the truth of yourself, whatever that is, and embrace it so that you can have a richer life, the more truthful life. And paired with that, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which leads me to believe that this might be, for most Leos, somehow associated with your career ambitions, or how you think of yourself in terms of your worth in your career path. The Eight of Pentacles is the card of being plugged into your job, loving your work, having a lot of work assignments, and really giving it your all. So we tend to find ourselves in that place when we are in alignment with a job. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be an actual 9-to-5 paycheck getting gig. It could be a hobby. It could be something you want to be known for. It could be more about something that you value of being known for, as opposed to something that you actually get a paycheck for. It could be the sort of thing where maybe you do have a day job while you have an artistic pursuit at night or on the weekends or whatever. But this is the kind of thing where you value your talent, you want to be seen and known for this, and it starts to align with acclaim, accolades, recognition outside of yourself. When you do the thing you love, regardless of actually seeking validation, when you just give it your all and are your sort of truthful self with it, it's that funny thing where the acclaim comes, right? So whatever it is you do, you might not be a dancer or an artist. You could be in sales. But there's some connection here when you kind of honor the truth of yourself, whatever your gifts are, whatever your truth is. There's some more work or validation in your work life or how you want to be known that is tied or connected. So for a lot of Leos, this is probably something along the lines of more sales or more gigs or contracts or whatever. But take that as it might resonate, and take it as it might make sense in your industry or your life. Even if you're retired, it might be, being recognized in your book club for having really good insights, because you finally start really sharing your thoughts, something like that. If you're a student, it could be the sort of thing where, because you volunteer to your favorite professor, you get a teaching assignment, a teacher's assisting assignment or something like that. I know it's summertime, and so maybe there aren't a lot of those opportunities right now, but something along those lines. Maybe some sort of mentorship with, take it as it might apply in your life. But again, whatever you're doing, there's this call here to be more authentically you, even if you think it's weird or messy or something that you might have hidden in the past. There's something here that you might have been ashamed of that was actually your superpower that gets you the more gigs or allows you to build this foundation that becomes more fruitful. And we see in the next column, we see the Three of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, which are both cards of sort of next level or up-leveling in areas of your career, your ambition, and, you know, sort of validation, recognition in these areas that you want to be known for, you want to be seen for. The Three of Wands especially is like public recognition or acclaim. Let's see, can we get that in better focus? You know, traditionally, the Three of Wands has the central figure looking over like a harbor at ships coming in. And, you know, the thought is that the central figure is like maybe a salesperson or an entrepreneur, and they're watching their ships come in, or they're dreaming of going out and taking their product out to market, or, you know, maybe they're waiting for the proceeds of their product, you know, that kind of feeling. So it's very much connected to you and your audience, you know, even if you aren't like an actor or a content creator, that how that sense might connect in your world, especially if you are something like a content creator or have some sort of audience in that way. You know, this is kind of that next level. Whatever you're doing, you're seeing your work find an audience or a market in some way, and you're seeing that excitement for you or your product, and you're seeing how you can make more, take it to the next level, bring it to a wider audience, do more with it. Your own success is like inspiring you even more. And the Nine of Pentacles is a card of typically financial stability. So again, if over here we had, you know, the sales coming in, the ships coming in, you know, we do see you being able to treat yourself. That's what the Nine of Pentacles typically is. And maybe being able to, if you need to buy more equipment or buy more stock, or, you know, also in these crazy times, being sensible and putting something away for a rainy day or for the uncertainty in the markets. But these are very positive cards. And I'm going to say it again, it does hinge on this piece of being true to yourself and owning your sort of honest self, something that you might have seen in the past as something you were ashamed of, or something you hid, or something you covered up, or something that was maybe a part of your shadow side that you bring to light, or you own, or you let out of the closet, so to speak, and you make it a part of your story, or you shift careers in order to own that, or whatever it is. And, that's now a part of the foundation, or a part of the story. And finally, we see you going from strength to strength. The Six of Swords here is, let's get that in focus. Yes. Is typically a bit of information that leads you from chaos or confusion, or, out of the dark into the light. Usually there's news, or someone has an inquiry or an invitation that gets you moving, that allows you to go from maybe a stuck or stagnant place, moving. It allows you to make a decision, and make a choice, and a positive progression, a positive progress. So often it's, if there had been something you had been waiting for, maybe a contract you had been waiting for, or if you had been confused about the status, it could be even if you had been confused about the status of a relationship, the status of a job, something like that. You hear news, or you hear information, something gets unstuck, and it allows you to move forward and into the light with this new clarity. Finally, we have the King of Pentacles paired with this sort of movement card. He may be the one that has the piece of information for you, and it doesn't have to be a he. It usually will be a person who is like a boss type figure, a mature person, maybe a Capricorn, Taurus, or I'll think of it in a second, the other earth sign, Virgo. And it could be something like an agent, or a boss, mentor, professor. Could even be your dad or uncle, financial advisor, somebody with a job for you, a job. Oh, let me get that in better in. I've got a candle right over the place where I hit the thing to put it more in focus, so I almost burn myself every time I try to get the card in focus. I should readjust my whole setup here. But in any case, so this person may have that bit of news for you, may have that contract for you, may have that piece of advice that, like gives you the illumination, the idea, that piece you need to move forward. But it's positive momentum, right? If it's a job, if it's a contract, if it's advice, it's good news. It's the thing you've been waiting for. It's the thing that illuminates your path and allows you to continue your journey. Leo, this is a really positive reading, especially if you're looking for growth. And this is like a shift, right? If you've been feeling stuck, this is movement, this is change, this is momentum, and this is like, it starts now, but it's not fleeting, right? This is like kind of maybe a career shift that leads to more permanent, stable growth, like more stable in the long term. So if you have to leave another job, like this kind of feels like leaving one job that was not so great, that was not suited to you, to get to another one that's more in alignment with who you are. If that doesn't resonate, there's definitely some piece about honoring the truth of you and finding an audience, finding a tribe, finding validation for your projects or an entrepreneurial endeavor like your YouTube channel, your art, something along those lines. If you feel like sharing, I'd love to hear about what context this new trajectory takes you in. In any case, thank you so much for dropping by. It's a very exciting and positive shift, Leo. Take good care. Until next time, bye for now.